out again in about 2 minutes. You watch the north, when they do. Plus 7-2. You come in with me.
Christmas in Belfast, 1972. Sunday morning outside an army post in Lenadoon Avenue, on the fringes of Catholic Andersonstown. Once a council house, it's now a stockade. It's been shot at, bombed and mortared. Christmas brings the army few tidings of comfort and joy. So far, 178 soldiers have died in Northern Ireland, more than died in Aden or Kenya or Cyprus.
Okay, bring us on then.
Oh, that's finished.
There are not many signs of Christmas here. All that remind them of the festivities outside are a couple of chickens in the oven and a few cards standing on the television set. The war on the streets is closer. The army's role in Northern Ireland is to keep the peace between the Catholics and the Protestants and to defeat the enemy. The Provisionals have 3 battalions in Belfast, a total strength of about 1,500, enough to keep the British soldiers in a state of constant alert. About 300 gunmen do the shooting from the endless maze of streets and alleyways that crisscross the Catholic areas of the city. To the soldiers of the 1 Queen's Regiment, areas like this in New Lodge are enemy territory.
Whiskey 13 Charlie, is it Whiskey 1? Take extreme caution in the area.
Every doorway down here leads into a house, whether it's a derelict or an occupied, and it's quite simple for somebody just to open the doorway without us knowing, with them knowing that we're on here being warned by the locals, and poking around a Thompson there and letting rip with 5 or 6 rounds up the alleyway at us. And then, of course, going straight for the back of the house out the front, and he's gone before we even know really where the rounds came from.
Keep covering down there.
What do you feel like being on patrol like this?
Sort of one would call it a duck shoot, with us being the ducks occasionally. But otherwise, most of the locals there take us as parts of the local scenery now, but of course the gunman is still his one aim, is to get us before we can get him.
Hold! Ready! Make sure the safety catch is applied and the sights are up.
All soldiers on patrol are moving targets. The King's Own Scottish borderers cover Andersonstown and Turf Lodge, Republican strongholds dominated by the Provisional IRA's 1st Battalion. Intelligence is vital in fighting urban guerrillas. The army needs to collect every scrap of information to distinguish the terrorist from the innocent civilian. Each patrol carries a book of photos of wanted men.
Move on, around the corner. Go on. Right.
In an operation like this, everyone in the area is automatically a suspect. The innocent often suffer.
Come here, Mike. Come down, please, will you?
Grey hair, I told him Brad. Only brown bread, that's grey hair.
3, Roger, out. Okay, sir, sorry for troubling you.
Most spot checks carried out on these patrols are negative. They seldom produce results. Sometimes a patrol strikes it lucky.
Ready, where do you come from?
Suddenly, the sergeant recognized a face, the man in the donkey jacket. Immediately, he summoned a Saracen to take him in for questioning.
No idea, mate, I'm not clear.
Let's go. Mr. Whitelaw wants to come up and have a drink here.
Come here, Michelle. I'm up there
Thank you.
The suspect in the donkey jacket and his friend were taken back to headquarters to be checked out against the IRA list.
Three over. 333 over. A 3-3 package is on its way over.
Are you aware that basically the army isn't wanted here?
Yeah, we're aware of it, yeah. But I mean, who am I to say, right, pull the army out? I mean, it's not my job to say that. I'm aware. I've been told to be here and I get good money for being here and that's it. I mean, not here in any biased situation. I mean, I'm not for the Catholics and I'm not for the Protestants. I'm just here to do a job, that's all. Go on.
The army believed that the man the sergeant picked up was a company commander in the Provisional IRA's 1st Battalion. They handed him over to the police, who had enough evidence to detain him. But successes are rare and the frustrations mount, especially amongst the sergeants, traditionally the backbone of the British Army. Is it possible to defeat the Provisional IRA militarily?
No, if by that you mean that a military solution is the solution to all the problems of Northern Ireland, the answer is certainly no, and always has been no. If, on the other hand, you mean can we reduce the capability of the Provisional IRA to an extent where it cannot so seriously influence events, then the answer is yes, we can make a very valuable contribution, and we believe we have done so.
Is it not very difficult, if not impossible, for the army to be policemen and soldiers at the same time?
The short, very simplistic answer to that is yes, but of course there are all sorts of shades of grey in this. But they are not trained to do this job, and it is true to say that the fact that they operate under the rule of the common law does sometimes restrict them very severely. But I think they all realize, as we all do, that if the rule of common law was lifted and we were given unrestricted freedom, this might have caused a lot more bitterness and agony than has in fact occurred.
The essence of urban guerrilla war is that the guerrilla has the support of the population. Doesn't the army, by virtue of the way it has to operate, automatically alienate the Catholic population?
It's quite inevitable that if you are going to pursue a counter-terrorist campaign, you have to go in amongst the population which harbors the guerrilla and gives him sustenance. You cannot do this without causing hardship and a degree of bitterness.
In this situation where the army is standing in the middle between the two communities, can the ordinary soldier on the street really stay neutral?
The ordinary soldier on the street has now been shot at, bottled, abused and stoned by both sides of the population here from time to time. And therefore, that in itself imposes a degree of impartiality which perhaps isn't generally recognized. We all, I think, tend to dislike most the person who abused us last. But this does not prevent us transferring our attention to anybody who chooses to abuse us in the future.
Are you aware, General, that many of your soldiers here are sick and fed up of Northern Ireland?
Yes, indeed. I'm well aware that some of them are sick and tired of Northern Ireland. This doesn't mean that they're sick and tired of doing the job that the army has appointed them to do. I believe that most of them recognize, as I recognize, that this is possibly the least pleasant job a soldier is likely to be given, but that it is part of his job for which he is paid, and that he will set about it as best he can and keep it up until relieved of duty by somebody else or told to stop.
If a soldier dies, what does he die for?
He dies doing his job as a British soldier, pursuing the policy of the government he serves.